What's up guys, it's Super Electric here and I'll be bringing you guys another new series. You guys might have seen this series in the trailer, but here it is. Welcome to Pokémon Origins, and using randompokemon.com, I randomized today's Pokemon and it gave me Poliwag. So let's get started. To start things off, you guys might be screaming in the comments, why the heck is the video called the Poliwag line? So basically, because of extremely similar inspirations for all three of these Pokemon, it just made sense to put them all together. Generally, Pokemon Origins will focus on one mon, but if a certain mon and its evolutions are extremely similar, we'll go for the whole line. Now to clarify, I'm not going to be discussing Politoed very much due to the fact that it is based on a separate inspiration. If I randomize Politoed later, we will have another episode for it, don't worry. Now that that is over with, let's get into a quick overview. The Poly line is overall pretty cute, while Poliwrath is also a fighting type, which is just awesome. Also, this line is from Gen 1, which means it has had the most time to get known. As a result, these mons are pretty popular, with the line appearing in many different episodes of the anime. I shouldn't say that they are popular, but they're definitely more well known than some of the others. But let's go back to the beginning. The Poliwag line is based off of tadpoles. If you couldn't tell, it might not be apparent that Poliwhirl and Poliwrath are, but we'll get to that in a second. Oh wait, this too, well I mean, if they are the tadpole species, I guess that makes sense. Wow, that was easy. Guess we're done? Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, nope. Well, tadpoles are called Poliwag in British English. Sound familiar? Yep, that's where Poliwag's name comes from. Also, it could wag its tail, so yeah, it just makes sense. Tadpoles are the larval stage of the frog, so it makes sense that when Poliwag evolved, they turn into a frog. Yeah, Poliwhirl is a frog. It's also the tadpole Pokemon, so Tadfrog? I don't know. Anyways, tadpoles are also usually aquatic since most don't have limbs. That makes sense why Poliwag is a water type. Therefore, the color also follows. It is blue. The cool thing is that tadpoles lose their tail during metamorphosis, which is the real life process where the tadpole morphs into a frog. You know what else does that? That's right, caterpillars. Like Caterpie. But back on track, notice that Poliwhirl does not have a tail. Pretty interesting. The swirls on its belly are supposed to represent the fact that you can see tadpole intestines through their transparent skin. Moving on to Poliwhirl, it's actually based upon the glass frog. And glass frogs are named that way because guess what? You can actually see through them like glass. Wow. Glass frogs are different from other frogs such as tree frogs in that their eyes face forward instead of off to the side. Yep, Poliwhirl fits that. Glass frogs also live near rivers and streams, contributing to the water type. Also, Poliwag is a water type, so it just makes sense to keep it a water type. That's just kind of obvious. Glass frogs are also green, but Poliwhirl keeps the blue color because it is a water type, and Poliwag is blue as well. Poliwhirl's name keeps the poly part from Poliwag, and whirl can be the swirly thing on its belly, which is also similar to Poliwag, which just kind of increases the cohesion between the two Pokemon in the same line. Finally, we have Poliwrath. Poliwrath becomes a fighting type, which is why it stands much more easily on two legs in order to utilize its fists in battle. Most of the stuff for Poliwrath is pretty much identical for Poliwhirl, but I wanted to point out Poliwrath's early design. Nyosuka was its Japanese name, and it had a crown on its head. Wow, that just makes sense. That's why they made the King's Rock and evolved into Politoed. Also, did you notice that both Poliwhirl and Poliwrath have gloves? Well, because of the relation to kings and nobility, maybe the gloves stem from that idea. While they no longer keep the crown, they kept the gloves from that. I tip my hat to you, sirs. Anyway, time for trivia. Did you know Poliwag is Satoshi Tajiri's, by the way, he's the creator of Game Freak and Pokemon, thank him later, favorite Pokemon. After Gen 5, Poliwag has an EXP yield of 60. Do you know why? Well, it's because he's the number 60 in the Pokédex. And it's the only Pokemon that has the same EXP yield as its Pokédex number. That's pretty cool. Before Gen 6, Poliwag had the same cry as Ditto. I could just imagine a Poliwag using Transform going all goopy and gooey. Also, Poliwhirl was on the Time magazine for one article. Like I said, he's kind of popular, more than others. Starting from Fire Red and Leaf Green, Poliwhirl started to have mitten-like hands instead of separate fingers. And finally, Timple, along with Poliwag, Whirl, and Wrath, are all the tadpole Pokemon. I mean, it just makes sense. Timple's obviously a tadpole. And finally, cookie question. Comment the answer in the comment section below to get a cookie. As for the trivia question, what are the two items that Poliwhirl holds in the main series games, and why does it hold one in Gen 1 and then the other item for the rest of the gens? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But anyways, guys, that's it for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share with your friends. But until next time, guys, see you guys later.